Welcome to the Activated Storyteller's Third Podcast.
This week's story is Davy Crockett, an all-American folktale.
Hello, my name is Zephyr.
And I'm Kimberly, Zephyr's mom.
And I'm the other guy, Dennis, Zephyr's dad.
And together we are
Activated
Storytellers.
This is our 4th of July special, a couple days late here, but we're getting it out to you.
Well, actually, we're on time. We're recording this on July 4th, but it won't be available to everyone else until a couple of days later.
Right, it'll air July 6th. Today we are podcasting from Rochester, Washington.
If we have a chance, later this afternoon, we'll explore both blocks of Rochester.
No, this is a little different for us. We are usually, the past about 5 years, we've always managed to be in Hannibal, Missouri for the 4th of July, for all the happenings there.
Well, we've been there so much that by now we're familiar with both blocks of Hannibal as well. And there's the annual fence painting contest, which I did for the longest time. It's
And why do they have a fence painting contest?
In Mark Twain's famous book, Tom Sawyer, there is a scene in which Tom tricks other people into whitewashing the fence, which he is supposed to do. And so in honor of that, they have the Tom Sawyer fence painting contest, which I believe this is the 51st year they've been doing it.
Right, we were there last year for the 50th contest, and the whole reason they have it in Hannibal, Missouri, is because that's Mark Twain's boyhood home. He wasn't born there. He was born just down the road, not too far from there, in Florida, Missouri, but he did spend his boyhood in Hannibal, Missouri.
We're not kidding. There is a real town called Florida, Missouri. That is the name of the town.
Yeah, there's also a California, Missouri, and an Oregon, Missouri. But Hannibal, Missouri is Mark Twain's boyhood home, and that is the setting for his famous books, for Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn.
Well, for part of Huckleberry Finn, that's until he gets on the raft.
It's a fascinating event, doing the fence painting contest, and it's open to boys that are, I think it's age 9 to 14.
10 to 13 inclusive, I believe.
So Zephyr did it for a few years. He was in the contest representing California. We just had to pick a state.
I won second place one year, actually.
Yep. And then Dennis and I have done, they have a separate division for the over 30 adults. And
we just barely qualify.
Yeah. We just kind of fudged a little on that. But we both have participated several times in the past, and we've both walked away with some prizes.
Yes, Kimberly has won first and third place, and I've won first, second, and third. So between the three of us, we've collected quite a few prizes. They're probably glad that we're not there this year.
Mostly it's just fun. We have a great time. You have to dress up. And I'll give you a couple hints if you're ever planning on going to Hannibal. You do have to dress as Tom Sawyer, and you have to read that book with a fine-tooth comb, because you need to bring just about everything mentioned in the book.
I've never read a book with a fine-tooth comb before.
Most people normally use glasses or some such.
I think they get my point.
Anyway, so be very careful on the details. There's 3 different points on the way they judge the contest. One is by costume, how good your costume looks. I think that's about half your score right there. And then 25% of it is how fast you get to the fence and back. You literally run down the fence, and when you're running back, there are people there who actually catch you. And you have to paint that fence fast. Don't buy brand new clothes for this. And also, the other 25%, I believe that's the way they divide it up, is the quality of how well you actually paint the fence.
Yeah, so I recommend. I know we're a little late on this 4th of July special, having podcast date on Thursday, but next year, plan on going to Hannibal, Missouri. There is like we said, the fence painting contest. There's a parade.
They usually have a carnival around there about that time.
Carnivals, all kinds of activities. There's outdoor art festival. I know we're missing stuff. Oh, the Tom and Becky contest for the locals.
And Tom and Becky contest. And Tomboy Sawyer, they have one for the girls. And the girls actually do more stuff than the boys do. But there's a Tomboy Sawyer contest. And also, one of our favorite pizzerias ever is actually in Hannibal. They have an amazing vegetable pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Hannibal's a fun town to go any time of year, but especially around the 4th of July.
Yes, especially. We hope we're back there next year, and we'll see you there if you have a chance to go. So I wanted to tell you about Hannibal, Missouri, and we do have a special story for you today for the 4th of July. We have the story of Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett is the alter ego of David Crockett, a senator from Tennessee who lived from 1786 to 1836, at which time he died heroically at the Alamo. Now, most historians agree that he was not that great a congressman, but everyone agrees that he was an outstanding storyteller. Although he often borrowed folktale motifs from other sources and embellished them and told them as if they were his own, as if they actually happened to him, he was a great storyteller.
And that's what he's known for. And now we present the story of Davy Crockett.
Well, now, when I was only 3 years old, I killed myself a bear. One day he just wandered into the kitchen and started to eat up all the jam, and I grabbed him in a great big bear hug with my tiny little arms, and I squeezed and I squeezed and squeezed until ker-plunk, that bear just fell down dead.
A teddy bear.
Well, now, when I was just a lad, my pa gave me my first rifle. I called her Old Betsy, and I got to be a powerful, keen shot, too. Fact is, I got to be such a good shot when I was walking through the woods and them critters would see me a-coming, why, they would just surrender. I give up! Don't shoot!
Hey, you! What's that stench?
Now, I met my wife, Sally-Ann-Thunder-Ann-Whirlwind Crockett, at a barn dance. She said that she would marry any feller that could outdance her. And so we danced, and we danced, and we danced, and we danced, and kept on dancing until the next day, until finally we wore out a dozen fiddlers, and we fell down exhausted.
You fell down exhausted. I'm still dancing.
So we got ourselves hitched.
Dum, dum, da-dum. Dum, dum, dum. Real dumb.
And moved on out to the frontier, where I did all sorts of heroic things.
Like?
Well, I'll give you an example. Once upon a time, in 18-something or other, or maybe it was 17-something or other, I don't know, it was the coldest winter ever. Why, it snowed and snowed and snowed, and it got so cold that...
How cold was it?
Well, it was so cold that words would just freeze in midair when you'd say something. And if you wanted to know what somebody had said, why, you'd have to pluck their words out of the air, pop them into a frying pan, and toast them well done. So I took out to find out where all the cold was coming from. I traveled all the way to the North Pole. And I found that the gears of the earth were all stuck together. So I had to give them a couple of good hard kicks to get them a-rolling again. And by the time I got back to Washington, D.C., all of the trees were a-blossoming again, and all of the rivers were a-flowing again, all on account of my heroic deeds.
Not.
And that was the story of Davy Crockett. I hope you enjoyed that. That was kind of our little salute to the 4th of July. We had a chance to visit the Alamo a while back and actually got to see Old Betsy. And a friend of Davy Crockett's was with him at the Alamo, Jim Bowie. We also saw the Jim Bowie knife, which was named after him.
Actually, I seem to remember that the Bowie knife was named after Jim Bowie's brother, but he did use it. The Alamo is really a fascinating place. You should get by there sometime if you have the chance.
And if you don't have the chance, you should get by there anyway.
And it's close to the River Walk, which is a nice little part of San Antonio. And you know what? Admission to the Alamo is free.
I also want to point out that on our website, we have the story of Davy Crockett, and it's an interactive page, an interactive story. So you can go there and you can move some of the little critters around. And now we'd like to share with you some comments that we've been getting on our blog and in email.
Oh my God, Zephyr, you're the best!
I don't think that was one of them.
From Heather in Iowa. My 4.5-year-old smiled and laughed while we listened to your podcast today. Thanks for taking the time to do this.
And from Leah of Centralia, who came to see one of our shows live, she says, "Hi, storytellers. We saw your show at the Centralia Libraries, and Henry and Jacob, our 7 and 5-year-old sons, wanted to rush right home and make backgrounds for stories. Never mind about deciding on a story first. They just wanted to jump right in." We all really enjoyed your stories. Next week, we are planning on getting to a kite festival this week out on the Washington seashore. So make sure you check back, and we'll let you know about the kite festival. And we'll be bringing you the story of Stormalong,
the biggest American hero of all.
The activated storytellers perform at schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use American Sign Language, physical comedy, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring the stories to life. For booking information, check our website at www.activated-storytellers.com, where you can also find out when the Activated Storytellers will be performing near you. Read a story or order one of our audio CDs. Until next time.